Guys, eons and eons ago, I asked God for help. I told him I'm really screwed up. I'm really screwed up. Can you please send something to help me? You know what he did, guys? He sent me Miss Daisy. All right, guys. What do we got here on the old cam this morning? Oh, there it is. Look at there, guys. Looky there. Look at that critter right there. That guy, guys, very soon is going to be heading to the train station. Wow, guys, did you see that speech the other night, or Joe there? That was amazing, wasn't it? Unbelievable. I said to him, I had to call him right after he did his speech, you know. I had a flashback too. I saw, Nancy was there, and she had that. I had a flashback. I really did. And a flashback was eons ago, and I was in a tree, 22 feet up on a deer trail, by a river, and a friggin' beaver crawled out of the water, crawled up on the hill, chewed down a birch tree, and it was sitting there munching on that. He was just like this, munching on that friggin' tree branches, eating that cambium, off them trees. Looked just like Nancy. I sat there and watched that beaver guy for the longest time. Anyway, yeah, I called Joe up right there because I had a flashback of that beaver. And I told him the beaver story, and he just started laughing and laughing. He said, "That's so funny you mentioned that." He said, every full moon, she's on her broom flying around. And she does that same thing while she's on her broom. He said, it's unbelievable. And you said beaver. He said, that's the other thing. She's got such a great grip with her beaver. She can fly with no hands on her broom. I said, that's it, Joe. I got to go, Joe, because I'm about to lose my cookies. Yep. It just, things aren't good for my buddy, old Dwayne. Not good at all. No. He did to give you a refresher, he's one of my old hunting buddies. We've been knowing each other forever. We go back to the early 60s, maybe late 50s. I don't frickin' know. It's been so long ago. I forgot what I had for breakfast. No, it was eggs and bacon, what I had for breakfast. Every morning I do that. Anyway. I called. He went through. He had a stroke because he's an alcoholic, and they went in the hospital, and then they pushed him over. He finally made it to rehab. To give you a little refresher on that, he made it to rehab, and he was in rehab a week, and somehow he got his butt out of rehab. Apparently, they were trying to fix his brain a little bit there, where he could recollect stuff, and understand stuff and this and that. Well, he did it well enough to get home. And I kept telling him, I said, bro, you got to get out. You're in jail right now, bro. You have got to get your ass out of there and get home and start leading a clean lifestyle. It's so easy to do. And I said, I do not want you touching another drop of alcohol the rest of your life. Do you hear me, bro? Yeah, I hear you. I said, because freedom is kind of nice, and you don't have it right now. I know, he said, I know. Well, next thing I know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to let him go for like a week. Not a week, not even a week. The phone rings. I thought it was his wife going to give me some more bad news, right? It's him. I said, sounds to me like you're at the house. He said, I am. I said, freedom's kind of nice, ain't it, bro? He said, it sure is. It sure is. And I said, all right, I'm going to repeat something to you one more time. And that's going to be it. This will be it. Okay. So pay attention. I'm only say this one time. Do not drink another drop of any kind of booze the rest of your life. Yeah, okay. He's like, yeah, like, like, Steve, you're so full of it, your eyes are brown. No, they're hazel. They're still hazel. Okay. Anyway. So we chitty-chatted there. I said, you behave yourself, bro. I don't want to see you in jail no more. Okay. Well, it's been a whole week. A whole week went by, right? I said, I need to check on that old boy. I called, and his daughter, Skeeter, picked up. Little Skeeter. Her real name's Linda, but anyway. Skeeter picks up with a somber voice. I'm going, oh, what's going on? She said, well, she saw my name on caller ID. She knew who she was talking to. I hadn't talked to her in years. Anyway. She said, well, Dad, when he got home from rehab, which was over a week ago, he must have no sooner hung up with my conversation, him and I, and he went to the fridge and got a beer. Why there was any booze in the house, I don't know. Anyway, he got a beer. He's been drinking beer every day, Skeeter said, for 5 days until he had another major stroke. They take him in. Now we popped a big blood vessel in our brain. The doctor said because of drinking. Yeah, so all you guys out there, try to listen up on this story. You want to put it down. You want to put down the cigarettes and the booze and start leading a healthy lifestyle like old Steveo. Okay? This is real easy to do, guys. This is a no-brainer. I know it's a no-brainer, and I am not the sharpest tool in the shed, okay? So here we are. Now, Skeeter said, well, can you operate? No, because his heart's only running at 30%. Can you do some work on his heart? No, he'll never survive any type of heart work. No. She says, okay, let's box him up and send him to the house and have hospice come in. So that's where we're at now, guys. They've got a catheter in him, probably a diaper on him. He's at the house. The stroke he's not eating because he can't swallow. They're not hooking him up to any feeding tubes that I know of. She said, we got to give him his medicine. But when time for his medicine, he said, bring me a beer. They should probably, if he can say that, they probably should give him a triple, gin and tonic, or a triple quadruple, I don't know, Jim Beam, maybe, on the rocks. That Jim Beam, the blacks all tell me that's the drink of the devil. I said, I'll be darned. Okay. He's probably right on that. I can just see the devil drinking Jim Beam. So that's where we're at with my old buddy Dwayne. So she gave me all the gory details and this and that. And so anyway, we got to move on. I told her, I said, I'm praying for you. She said, I'm praying for Dwayne. I'm praying for you. And that's where we left it. So I don't know if I'm calling back. I don't need to be calling back on a daily basis to just keep getting, bad news. So maybe with a few prayers, maybe, who knows? He could pull out of this thing. Time will tell. Okay, guys, let's got a customer coming here Friday night or Saturday morning all the way from Homestead, Florida. I'm up here in the middle of the state on the west side. So, I don't know, it's about 75, 76 degrees. I think it's going to get 78 today. Let's get out here in the bee boxes and start loading up some bees and getting ready to ship them out of here. So we got this 5 boxes going out of here. I got another 5 boxes in a couple weeks going out of here. And I'll evaluate and see what I got left. And Martin wants to take some bees to Michigan. We'll see what I got, see what if I can fill his order. I got the phone ringing. It's word of mouth now, guys. I got the phone ringing here and there. Guys want bees. I just said, let me get these bugs out of the way, and let's see where we stand. And no need throwing you on a list and then putting you off till I figure out where I'm at. And once I figure out where I'm at, and I don't have any customers in the staging lane waiting to get my bugs, I'll make a video and put it out there, and you guys can email me, and we'll go from there. All right, let's get into the boxes. Quit playing around here. We got stuff to do. Okay, guys, quickly show you my boxes here. These are 2x8 ends. I've got a shelf cut in here. It's 3/4, half the material here. So yeah, I've got dimensions on all these on my some of my other channel. But this is how they go out. I put this pallet material. These are all pallet wood sides. The only thing I'm buying is this 2x8 ends. I cut them down. So you're ending up like 7.5 width here on this inside width. Yeah, so I put a screen on here, and I cut it with my 10 snips. I cut it in the center, and I cut it over here and over here. So that way you can open up, you can open up the full-size hole. I think that hole is 1¼ inches. So yeah, I can ship them out like this. You can put them on a truck, drive from here to Michigan with them. 8th screen. 3/4, I do buy the plywood, 3/4 plywood. All this stuff is dipped in tall earth preservative. Little old cleat. Usually the pieces that I cut out from in here are these. You pre-drill them. There's see a little crack in this one, but it'll be fine. I got it glued in, by the way, too. I don't glue these on. I used to. I don't glue them on. What I do is screw them in, and I'm just sitting here looking, talking, and BSing, and I forgot to screw on this bottom right here. So this one has got to go back. I shoot them in with brads, and then I put a couple of 2-inch screws in here. So I'm gonna have to put this back in the shop right now, because I don't want him throwing that on the truck and that falling off, and then that's gonna end up on the floorboard, and we won't have ventilation for that colony. So anyway, yeah, I've got these 2 here and these 2 here. I might be able to, I'm quite sure I can, these 3 here, this one, this one, this one. I'm not sure about that end one. If I don't like this queen's egg laying pattern here, whatever, they're not going in a box, okay? And then after I sell the majority of these bees, I will go through and evaluate everybody. The object here today is to rob out 5 frames of resources to put in this box. Leave resources here so the bees can raise a new queen, okay? So obviously you don't want to rob these. You want to rob your bees from a quality hive to sell to a customer. You're retaining enough resources to have them raise another quality queen, okay, from these bees. You're going to mark your date on the top after you've done that. You make sure you've got eggs in there. All this field force is coming back in here, so you haven't lost that. Mark a date on the top. Come back in 30 days. Come back from 30 days and see if you've got a new queen in here laying eggs, all right? You're going to feed this colony during that time. Feed that colony, because a well-fed, as they're making their new queen, if she's well-fed, you're going to get a quality queen. More than likely. All right, that's the game plan. Let's quit BSing and get her done. Alrighty, guys. Now here's a quality frame. This is what we're looking for. You can see there's a nice queen here. She's laying good. All these cells here are slap full of eggs. Sorry about that. I dropped you. Yeah, she's a very nice queen, as you can see. Nice pattern here. These are slap full of eggs. All these empty cells are slap full of eggs. So this is you know, it's time consuming, because you have to visually put an eyeball on this queen. So I've got a lot of bugs to go through here. Those towels we put in, they're about chewed up. They got dragged out. Those were my towels to treat for varroa mites. This colony looks very healthy. So anyway, it's time consuming, and we're not going to burn up a bunch of film here, me going through this. So I'll show you this queen when I finally find her. Okay, guys, I just found baby girl here. See if I can find her again. She's on. There she is, right here. Here she is, right there, guys. If I can get her in the light for you. She's right there. Beautiful queen. Beautiful queen. Now check out. See how big and fat she is. She's right there. Right on the edge. Right there. Beautiful queen. Check out her brood pattern, guys. This is what we're going for here. Yeah, we got two nice fat food frames here loaded with pollen. We put her in there. So this is going to be an excellent box. All I need now is 2 more frames. I got to go back into this colony. We're going to have plenty of resources to let this guy go back on autopilot to make us another beauty just like this one, because she is a beauty. This is what I like to sell right here. A lot of beekeepers, starter beekeepers, will take this box home. They'll fool around with it. In about a week, they'll probably kill the queen. I try to help them. I say, work from the outside in. Be careful. You smash this queen in here. Now your hive's down for 30 days. You're excited. You want to get back in that colony, see what your bugs are doing, right? You're all excited. You're a new beekeeper. Leave them alone. Let her... This box here, guys, when my customer takes it to wherever he's taking it, Michigan or Timbuktu, whatever, I tell him, when you get this thing at home base camp, take this 5 frame and get it in a 10 ASAP, or put an empty nuke box on top of here. Let them blow that out. Put a feeder jar on it, really kickstarter. Because I've been putting these bees on some feed, and man, they're kick-started big time. Yeah, so try not to mess with your bees too much, because if you kill her, his hive's down for 30 days. They're trying to build more cells in there. You come back in a day or two, you're fumbling around, you're busting them cells up that they just did. Now they're in critical mode. They don't have nothing to work with. That hive's going to crash, okay? So you want to set your bees up with all the stuff they need and kind of get away from them, leave them alone. Check your bees once a month, see what their status is, and go from there. So cool, we got 1 down. I've only been at it a half hour, and I got to just go back in here quickly, find 2 more frames for brood eggs, drop in here, make sure I've got plenty still on the stand. I want eggs here, and we got all these bees. We're going to have an excellent deal rebuilding a new queen. This stuff's simple, guys, but there are rules. There are rules and little tricks you gotta know to be successful. Let's keep on getting her. Okay guys, I've got her set back up here. We've got 2 frames of eggs in here. There's plenty of food in here. As you can see, tons of bees flying in here. We got all that field force coming in. We've made our $100 nuke. Cheapest, by the way, in the entire USA. Top quality. #1 Steveo bees. Top quality. In that box. $100 out the door, box and all. You see it? It's beautiful, okay? The beetle barn is plugged up. They get the fresh beetle barn in here. This hive is getting shut down for a whole month. Today is 3/3. We're coming back, check 4/3. Okay, how simple is that, guys? You gotta love it. Alrighty, guys. If you're getting old like old Steveo, get you a chair like this and sit down. I'm gonna plop my new nuke right there. Pull out a frame and you can sit here nice comfortably and look for your queen, because this can get time consuming. So I'm working on unit 2. I just threw the other box over here, a bunch of bees in. I knocked them out here on the floor. They go right back in the hive. And so hopefully we get 1, 2, 3, 4 right here, and then I'll pick another one off the other lane over yonder and keep loading up boxes. And I had to change out smokers. That one's getting plugged up. What happens here, especially with me burning pine needles, that hole right there, coming off your bellows right there, there's a hole, and that gets plugged up, and that gets plugged up with carbon. So that's where we're at. So you got to get a little wrench in here and take those nuts off right there. There's 4 of them. Pull your bellows out and get that done. So that dude is out of commission. I'm going to load this little, it's fairly new one, and so we can get into these girls here. So I'm moving along, guys. Okay guys, here's my next queen right there. See her? A carniolan looking thing. Cool. I love it when the plan comes together. All right, we're working on fixing to have 2 of them done. How nice is that? What do you think of that brood pattern, guys? This is hive 2. Huh? You like? You like? Okay guys, I'm working on my 3rd colony here, and this one here, this hive here and that one there, I don't know if you remember from last season, they house my black queens. And if you look in here, you'll see a lot of black drones running around in here. Some black drones, the mix, the honeybees themselves. There's more yellow bees in here than there is black bees, but you'll see like right there's some black workers. So yeah, so I'm still looking for my queen. She's got a nice egg pattern, so this queen's gonna go. She's gonna go. She's been with me a year, so she's gonna go bye-bye. There is possibility of me having 20 queens in this yard. See this pattern here, she's just filling that out really nice. A lot of black bees. There's a lot of black drones running around in here. There's another black drone right there, you see. So we got a combo. These queens can be tricky. You want to check the end bars, you know, look like a little cluster like this here. You can take your finger and move them a little bit and see if she's hiding under there. You know, sometimes they get like nasty Nancy. They'll grab the money and run, you know, grab the corrupt money, and they'll run around the corner and hide it, and then they go eat some ice cream. Yeah, they do that sometimes. I've noticed that. It's funny how bees and people are like that, you know. Sometimes you get some really greedy people, and sometimes some really greedy bees, and some nasty bees. You gotta watch out for the nasty ones, you know. So we don't want too many nasty Nancys in our village, okay? So here I am. I'm sitting down in my nice comfy little spot here in the shade, looking for my queen. I don't give up till I find the queen. I'm gonna have to go back through these frames I've checked. I pulled out that one, which was an end frame, a food frame, and looked it over, set it out here. I'll leave that one out. And then I just keep working across the board there. I've got 3 boxes I got to go through there. Same with that one. So, and I have done this. Sat here for a flipping hour trying to find a queen, and then find her in the last frame in the last box. Yeah. And then I call them nasty. Yeah, I got a sneaky one here, guys. I'm only on my 3rd one. Nice pattern though. This is one of the black queens. There's one in here. I called them the Oprah queens last year. You can see the pattern on them. Beautiful. I'm going to go back through. I looked all, and I took all these frames out. Looked through all these. Couldn't find her. Took my little spotlight. Went down there and looked to see if she's crawling around in the bottom. That happens to me sometimes. They end up in the bottom, and you got to dig them out of there. Get them on a frame. But I'm going to go back through these. I think what I'm going to do is put an excluder in here so I can exclude this portion from these and see if I can't find out where she's at. I may put 2 excluders in, one here and then one on the next one, so I've got them all broke up. So I'm going to go back through. I'm going to restack these. I'm going to put excluder on here and then put this box back on top and then go through that box. Actually, I think I'll put that empty box on here and then transfer all them over on top of this excluder. And go like that. See if I can't find her on another day. I'll exclude this up and then jump into this box and go on down the line. I've wasted enough time. I'm into this thing for over an hour now. So how much time do you want to spend, right? So that's why you need a chair. You got to go through these things methodically to find her. And because if I don't put an eye on that queen, I can't honestly say, yeah, you got a queen in that box. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. Keep on moving. Well, guys, there she is. Where'd she go? She's here. I just seen her. Let me find her. She's a big old black queen. She's black as Whoopi, okay? But 10 times nicer than Whoopi, and a heck of a good laying queen too. Here she is right here. Here she is right there, guys. Bada bing, right there. Is she in the frame shot here? Right there she goes. I made that queen, guys, last season. Okay, she's in the box. She's in the box. You can see what I did already. I've gone through all this mess. I mean, this was a time-consuming pick right here, let me tell you. Alrighty, guys, last colony of the day here. We've got 5 ready to go out. We've got 5 quality queens. I've got the queen, all of her brood, on 3 frames. Outside pollen and honey. That's how I sell them. So now what we got to do is get her ready for transport. I'll come back. Let's see here. I'll come back and put some Gorilla Tape on each side of this plug. But for now we gotta wrap it. That's what I do, is take my shrink wrap. I don't want this. My lids just float on here, see? They just floating.
But to save you a lot of aggravation, leave a tag end. Once you peel these things open, leave it loose like this, a tag end. You can get this stuff at Lowe's, or even some of your office supply places have it. So to make my life easier, I just take this stuff here and leave a tag end hanging down here, and take your T50 and staple it. Staple it one time right there, okay? And then what you can do is this little bit of a tag end here, just cut it off so nobody gets snagged on it and unravels the whole works. So I'm hoping you can see this. All I do is walk around it, and I put it on a trash can here, and I let it roll off on the bottom, like so. I want it to come off on the bottom here of the roll. And I'm going around about 5 times. Just pull it kind of snug. It's nice to put it up here on a trash can so you can walk clear around it, see? None of these bees are going to suffocate because the entire bottom is screened, as you saw. See, I come to about there, I roll it over, cut it off. That's it. She's ready to go. She's nice and tight. She's ready to go, secure. The bees can breathe out of the bottom. Everything's fine, hunky-dory. You guys are hunky-dory. Glad you stopped by today. And then remember, guys, remember this. A gun is like a parachute. If you don't have one and you need one, you may never need one again. I'll see you on the next one, guys. Be happy, be strong. We got to keep getting her on. See ya. I'm trying to see you later, guys.